Well, thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to thank Johnny and the Institute for inviting me here to today to actually present INHOPE, the International Association of Hotlines, and the work of the national hotlines and how they fit into the whole picture. And here we are. Who's first?
I think you have to point. Black with the points.
Well, we'll try that way. Oh, that's much better. Thank you.
Yeah. Say something there, relax.
I work on the internet.
Yeah. Well, that's all right.
The association is here to support and enhance the work of national hotlines. And in doing so, it helps to ensure that the reports of illegal content or potentially illegal content are dealt with swiftly by law enforcement and industry around the world. We are a network, we are the umbrella association of the national hotlines. I'm having fun with this again. There we are. And we actually represent 36 hotlines in 31 different countries. And as we, like yourselves here, we initially were funded by the EC in '99 under the Safer Internet Action Plan. And so this year we've been celebrating our 10th anniversary. So INHOPE itself, as I've said, is the umbrella association for these internet hotlines. As we can see here, the majority are European, but we have member hotlines from countries such as the US, Canada, Taiwan, Russia, Australia, South Africa, Japan, and so on. So we have a good spread across the globe. And these national hotlines, they provide a reporting tool, a reporting facility for members of the public to report illegal content to. Now, primarily, the overriding common offence, which is dealt with by the association here, is images of child sexual abuse, or child pornography, as it is often called. That is the unifying offence or illegal material which these hotlines deal with. Many of the hotlines will also deal with other offences which are considered illegal within their own country. In some cases, it's extreme adult pornography, racist views, pro-suicide sites, pro-anorexia sites, and so on. But as we can see here, we have 36 hotlines. A couple of the new ones who've joined us this year, we have 2 hotlines in Russia, one being run by the Minister of the Interior and the other by an NGO in Russia. So the reach of the membership is actually is spreading, we say globally, and it as we can see here, it actually is. We have a lot of support from governments and from industry itself. The hotlines actually have to, part of the criteria is to show that they have full government support and industry support and work with the support of the society as a whole before they can actually be considered for membership of the association. As I mentioned earlier, the material which the hotlines deal with, we have the list here of child sexual abuse images, extreme violence, bestiality, grooming, and extreme adult pornography as well. These are all, this is just a range of the offences which the hotlines deal with. Obviously, each hotline will deal with what is nationally considered to be illegal. So, in some countries, all pornography is illegal, and therefore the hotline would obviously deal with reports of illegal content from that country appertaining to adult pornography or pornography in general. As I say, we are the umbrella association for the national hotlines. And what the national hotline does, it provides a single point of contact for members of the public to report illegal material to. Now, as I've said, the majority of the material we deal with is images of child sexual abuse. And in general, public would not be too keen to report such content to law enforcement or other regulatory authorities such as that, for fear of being associated with the material themselves. So the idea of a hotline which will take your report anonymously, very similar to Crime Stoppers in that sense, and allow you to report the material on and get it into the system and removed as well. The material is actually assessed by trained analysts. Now, these analysts are trained by local law enforcement and industry, and obviously law enforcement when it comes to the local legislation and image classifications and so on. The report will be received by the hotline. The origin will be traced, and they will assess it under their own legislation. So here in Ireland, a report will be received by your hotline, and the report will be assessed first to see if it's illegal, and then it will be traced using various tools to trace the location of the material. Then, using the INHOPE network, they would then pass that report on to whichever hotline is in the host country. This has, there are several benefits to this. Firstly, is the speed in which the report is passed to the country where it's hosted. Obviously, being a closed network as it is, these reports are generally dealt with in a matter of hours of being reported to the country. And there, being the recipient, you will assess it under their own legislation, their own laws, and having determined that it is illegal, they will then pass it on to law enforcement. Now, being the hotline, they have contacts, very good working and strong contacts with the specific law enforcement units which deal with this content, and also they have strong relations with industry itself. So they're able not only to ensure that a swift investigation is started into this material, but also to ensure that the material is removed or quarantined, whatever the protocols are within that country, are put in place as soon as possible. So it's a very quick system of ensuring that the material is being dealt with speedily. Now, with all hotlines have to work within the legislation of the country they work with, and also the set protocols and procedures they have for dealing with such reports. The majority of hotlines will deal with make the assessments themselves and pass the reports on to law enforcement for them to take the required action. In some cases, countries, the hotlines can only accept the reports, and then the assessment is actually made by law enforcement themselves. However, all these hotlines and these member hotlines, as we've seen earlier, are all adhere to the best practice papers and standards of the association that have been set. And obviously, because of the very nature of the material that the hotlines are dealing with, the criteria and the best practice standards are extremely high. So our INHOPE goals here, and the goals of the association, is to provide this worldwide network of national hotlines, and to support them in their work in efforts to remove this illegal content, and to provide the standards and the criteria for continued growth of these professional hotlines. That's primarily what INHOPE is here to provide. So we are expanding the network. So I say we have 36 hotlines in 31 countries. Currently, I'm speaking to 6 or 7 countries, organisations within other countries which are looking to set up hotlines. These hotlines themselves have been seen as being a very effective tool in dealing with illegal content, but also providing a lot of, fostering a lot of confidence within the internet itself, that there is somewhere I can report illegal content to safely and securely, and I know that this content will be dealt with correctly. We are obviously representing this large number of hotlines globally. We're also in a position to help support and inform policymakers and decision makers within governments and industries as well on the effects and trends that we are seeing across the network of this material, and help them in their assessment of the current situations. So, as an association, and we are, as I keep saying, the umbrella association of the national hotlines, we recognise it is a cross-border problem, over-border problem, and through the network we are able to ensure that the material which causes concern is addressed swiftly at the point at where it's being hosted. Now, as regards our alliances and partners, we have, we are an EC body. We work closely with the EC, with national governments, the UN, Council of Europe, and so on. As regards law enforcement agencies, we are an observer with Interpol. We work closely with Europol. In fact, last week I was at a meeting in Oslo with CERCAMP, another EC law enforcement project. And we're also on the European Financial Coalition Steering Committee. We also work with VGT as well. So we have a strong representation there with law enforcement agencies, and also with the child welfare and child rights groups. Now, ECPAT and Save the Children, ChildNet and so on. Save the Children operate several of our hotlines, and so do ECPAT. So here we can see that there's the cross-support from the child welfare agencies and rights groups and so on. And it's the same with industry. 2 weeks ago we had a meeting with the head of Euro-ISPA and the internet industry and the finance industry as well. ISPAs, the national ISPAs, operate several hotlines who are members of the association. And in fact, ISPA Ireland operates the hotline here in the Irish Republic. So you see there is, as we have spoken about earlier, the requisite support from industry, government and law enforcement. We can see the support there is here with industry by their continued support and development of hotlines to fit into the INHOPE brand. And the Safer Internet projects, the EC projects, which we are actually involved with, obviously InSafe, who is our partner association. That's the Association of Awareness Nodes, and AXO and EU Kids Online. These are all EC projects which INHOPE support and are working with. Just a few statistics, and I didn't want to sort of drown you in statistics, but we have, and these are from September 08 to August 09, there has been an increase, continual rise in the number of reports received and dealt with by the membership. And here we can see an average of 43,000, over 43,800 reports per month from the public coming into the network. And of those, 36% are assessed to be illegal. Now, our statisticians tell us that this is a trend increase of 350 50 reports a month increase. So it is, the network is becoming more visible and more identified, and people are using the system a lot more. And this is what we've said. Say 36% of reports have been assessed to be illegal, but as I mentioned earlier, hotlines not only deal with images of child sexual abuse, but other areas as well. And this is a breakdown. This graph here is or pie chart is a breakdown of exactly what these figures are. As you can see, the overriding figure there, 44%, is child pornography or images of child sexual abuse. Now, one of the tools INHOPE has developed is a centralised URL database. Over the years, and because of some of the numbers we've seen there, 43,800 reports of illegal content per month to the hotlines, 36% of those assessed as being illegal. These are huge figures. And in order for INHOPE and INHOPE to utilise its unique position that it's in, to actually get an understanding of how much illegal content is out there, how much of these images of child sexual abuse or child pornography is there, that we have developed a centralised URL database which hotlines are now, and it started earlier on this month, starting to put their reports into. It's acting as a filtering tool for the hotlines, that law enforcement is not getting inundated with reports of images of child sexual abuse from all around the world. They're getting one report from whichever country has found it first, and the other reports are being held. So we're actually getting a true figure of seeing exactly what the reports, how many reports we have received about this illegal content. But we're ensuring that only one report has gone to law enforcement as well. It will also enable us to give a better global view, and this obviously is not the definitive view, but it's the best opportunity of having a global view we have at the moment as to the extent of the problem. That we hear so many individual hotlines and countries and so on, putting out reports of we have found so many illegal websites, so many illegal URLs and so on. We have a confused figure as to exactly what the volume is. This centralised system will give us a better understanding of what the extent of the problem is, and also enable INHOPE to provide better statistics showing the trends and the movements of these sites to assist industry and governments and other stakeholders in addressing the problems that this material causes. So this is just a pretty map we have at the moment, showing the countries which are involved with us. As we can see here, the majority of the countries involved in INHOPE, or having INHOPE hotlines, are also the major internet players themselves. Obviously, there are big holes. Obviously, there are countries which have high internet penetration who are not yet INHOPE members. But we are talking to these countries, and these countries are very keen to come on board. As I said, INHOPE is seen very much as it's the quality assurance mark of a national hotline, of providing a reporting tool and a reporting facility for members of the public to pass their concerns on to. And that is what we do. So, INHOPE itself and the stakeholders, we are NGOs, we are not law enforcement, but we are here providing this valuable tool for members of the public and society to refer to. And utilising its unique position, INHOPE will be able to provide more detailed and accurate figures as to the extent of the problem we have, certainly around images of child sexual abuse. So, thank you very much. That's myself, Adrian Dwyer. If you have any
thank you very
questions,
much,
please.
Thank you.